Me and my parents went to Universal Studios the first few months when we immigrated to this country. And then my parents spoke no English, but it was hard for me to have a good time because I was so nervous, stressed out at the time because like there's so much responsibility on me. Like I'm the one supposed to respond for directions. They didn't speak English. I had to use my broken English to ask for directions when we got off the wrong exit. I was in charge of like purchasing the food when we're there. I was in charge of buying the ticket. And it might, today, if you ask me to do these things, they seem like nothing, right? But for a 10-year-old who literally just came to this country, exactly, we were here like 6 months ago. No resources, no ability to speak. It was so stressful to the point like what's supposed to be a fun day at Universal Studios turned out to be super stressful that you couldn't even enjoy it. And I think it's hard for my parents to understand that. They're like, oh, we took you someplace fun after setting up. We're supposed to start like early in the day, get there like around 8, 9. We didn't end up getting there till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I think the park closes around like 6 or 7. So already the half day is gone and we still decided to kind of go in, and I had to figure out, oh, this is how we purchase a ticket. Just like we didn't purchase beforehand, and we finally get inside. And once we get inside, I got to figure out, oh, this is a line to wait for the rides. This is a ride that does this. There's some interactive rides that you have to like know. Like my parents would ask me, oh, what's this ride mean? Like what movie is this? And I couldn't even explain to me because I didn't understand it myself. And we're trying to get food. Like this sounds kind of like ridiculous, but I didn't know how to order any of the food. So the whole day I was stressed out thinking, oh, I have to get something to eat, but like, how do I order this? How do I get that? What even is the stuff we're eating? And then I remember like randomly, I forgot someone was like getting married. There's like a party in there. I think you could have like events in the studio. We just like kind of marched into, we like crashed someone's party. I was 10. I had this like really vague memories of it and we looked embarrassed and then just kind of walked out. And we ended up like not eating anything the whole day because I couldn't figure it out. My parents couldn't figure it out. So it's like what meant to be a fun day for a first generation immigrant, it was so stressful, So growing up like this, you get a lot of anxiety, I guess, because you're just anxious the whole time. You're like, oh, I got to figure this out quickly. I got to figure out this quickly. And as a 10-year-old, there's just so much responsibility on you. Even a simple road trip turns out to be like a huge, thing. So anyway.
What's the conclusion?
Well, the conclusion is that, a lot of times it just, life throws things in your way, At the time, it just seems like it's a huge thing. But looking back on it, I was 10. If I like had walked in there, I didn't know it was water, I could just point it to it. They could have figured out giving us something. It just wasn't a big deal. But to a 10-year-old who didn't understand anything, it seemed like getting the wrong order at Universal Studios, like the end of the world. If I could go back in time, I would just kind of comfort my 10-year-old self. I'd be like, hey, everything's going to be okay. And none of this is a big deal. When you grow up, it's going to be okay. So if you guys are stressed out, if you guys are going through some shit, remember, things will be okay when you look back on it. Things have a way of resolving itself.